In this screencast, I'm going to talk to you about how to configure Komodo Edit, which is one of the best free editors you can have for editing web applications. Let's start by looking at this start page that appears when the application first loads. Let's get rid of it so we just get a plain empty editor. If I go to the Preferences page, under Appearance, you can see a tick box which says Start Page. So if I untick that and click on OK, that won't appear next time you load the application. The next thing we're going to do is going to change and get rid of some of these toolbars we don't need. There's a lot of buttons at the top which don't serve any purpose for what we're doing. So if we go to the View menu, Toolbars, let's get rid of Resources, let's get rid of Macros, which we'll never need, let's get rid of Tools, and then we've just got the basic set of buttons that we need to get the job done. The next thing we're going to look at is changing the font in the editor. So I'm going to go to Preferences again. I'm going to go to Fonts and Colors, and by default it uses a 12-point font, but I'd like to do it bigger so you can see it. So I'm going to create a new scheme. I'm going to call it Monaco 14 because that's what it's going to be using, and it's already got one. Let's call it large font, and I'm going to change it to Monaco size 14, which is a little bit bigger so you can see it appearing on the screen. I'll click on OK, and that's that bit done as well. Now the last and hardest thing we're going to cover is how we set it up to edit files that are on a server. So again we go back to Preferences, and this time we choose Servers, which is near the bottom of the list, just there. And we're going to create a new remote account. I'm going to put the details in that we use for our FTP server because that's effectively what we've got. Port 22 because that's the SFTP port. There's my username. I put my password in. And I'll leave the default path blank. I click in Add. And that's now done. So everything is now configured, ready to do our first file. And to do our first file, I'm going to demonstrate how we create a new file and save it straight onto the server. So I create a new file. I'm going to set it Save as Other, Remote File. I'm going to choose my server. And I'm going to put my password in for the first time. And as you can see, this is giving me access to the server. So I'm going to go to public HTML, and can you see that the path there is the full path to my folder? And I'm going to create a file called komodo.html. And now I can enter my HTML file. And there's my file done. Now if I save that, it'll be saving it straight onto the server, and you can see in the path at the top it's got my full path to my server.